Okay, I think maybe I can finally make this video because it seems that YouTube is sort of letting people say stuff. And yeah, so and when I say YouTube, do you remember like back in the day when this all started? Uh, YouTube would delete any video that said, "Hang on, maybe this is a little bit over exaggerated," and they literally disabled the dislike button was disabled, so the mainstream media coverage of it couldn't be disliked. I think part of this led to the panic, right? Because I consider it a panic, and I even consider it a manufactured panic, right? I'm not saying it's like some big Illuminati thing, but it's like when you get ants and they'll chase each other around in a circle. That's called a death march or something. It's a little bit like that. It's like the people in power who were, I'm guessing, oh, this might be scary. We've got to look after everybody. Just kind of took so much power that they started feeding their own power, and it got out of control around the world. That's like the very nice way. That's like the most, what do you call it? Generous. That's the most generous explanation, right, for what kind of happened. Later, it got a little bit more dark, like YouTube would also ban anyone that said anything about the solution to the problem, um, including anyone that had had an adverse reaction at all. So imagine you've had a really bad reaction and you put it on YouTube. This is what happened to me. Your channel was gone. As well as Susan's famously, I can't be asked if I can edit the clip in here, but said that she deleted over 1 million fucking channels or something over that shit, you know, medical misinformation. This isn't about YouTube. This is about people's remembrance of what happened, and how I think they're just completely avoiding the reality. Um, so for instance, like just when it's all started, just when it all kind of started, right? I have a kind of close relative that was a GP, and yeah, he was a GP. I just find it funny because Boris Johnson's famous for saying ChatGPT. Yeah, this guy was a GP, right? And he just retired. Literally, he retired just in time, And he said it's like there. His words: there will be a tsunami of cancer after this, and he wasn't talking about the solution because the solution hadn't come then, right? He was talking about the way that they'd closed down like access to GPs. It was like by telephones and don't come to the surgery or whatever, And and as a GP, I mean, for most of his life, he'd been like I guess he'd done other shit like an ER and stuff, but he'd been a GP for quite a lot of his life. And it's like when someone comes in to the GP and it's like, I don't know, fucking my ass hurts or something, or this eye is like red or whatever. It's the GP will see other things and go, oh, hang on, I've noticed that there's something wrong with your skin over here or something. That could be this. Do you know what I mean? What I'm saying is like people will arrive and they'll get diagnosed they're not going there saying, hey, doctor, have I got cancer? They've gone there for like a symptom or something, which could be something, is a word benign or just like not that serious. But a doctor, an experienced GP or something, will look at that person and go, hang on, well, I don't know, an example could be, hang on, well, you've come here because of this, something, I don't know, like if I can, your toe hurts or something, but it'll be like, hang on, but your eyes are quite yellow. Let's just check your kidneys, or let's just check your liver or something. Do you know what I mean? This kind of shit. And he was saying like there will be a tsunami of cancer deaths. Tsunami, he said, because this like early diagnosis will not happen because people aren't coming to see the GP anymore because they're all paranoid about this flu, basically. So that's one aspect of it, and I think it's probably turned out to be his prophecies probably turned out to be true, right? I don't know how many years it was that you couldn't go and like really kind of see a GP. I don't know. Can you still do? Can you even do it now? I don't know. But the other aspect is the solution. Now, I will admit, like, I okay. So when it comes to the original, the OG original strain, I know one person that got like heart arrhythmia from it. He was like about 30, um, but that's past now, as far as I know. But he did have that. I got very sick from it. A lot of people I knew got sick from it because where I was, it was like, you know, got the alpha, right? Hospitalization wise, there's one person who I saw. I don't know that many people, so but like one person I know in England had to, or at least thought that he had to go because there was a massive panic then, right? He went to hospital. I think they put him on oxygen or something. Um, and like he's like a sort of, he would have been like under 50, over 40. And I know one other person, sort of like, was it like 2 degrees of separation or something, who he got it. And I think it wasn't the alpha one, it's like the one after that or something. But an older guy, like we're talking 70s, and he had to go to hospital, like, and actually stay in there, kind of like pneumonia sort of thing. Okay, so there's two people who didn't die and who had to go to hospital, right? Now, when it comes to the solution, I know many people that got very sick. They didn't all go to hospital, but they got very sick. Like many of the people I know who got it got very sick, right? And I know, like, I've even seen them and they've like, oh, I've got a fucking massive headache or something. And it's like, okay. A close family member who at the time was just over 30 got myocarditis and actually got it where the doctors and stuff said, no, you got it because of the solution. Not like maybe you got it. No, you got it from the solution, right? So that's another person. I know someone that got like an insect bite on their foot and it kind of went really bad and stuff and they ended up losing their leg um, just below the knee. But a blood clot passed over to the other leg and ended up losing the other leg above the knee. Just just by like maybe coincidence or whatever, but this person had 5 shots, right? Before you should have had 5 shots. Uh, Someone I worked with, similar sort of situation because you could get a shot, then you could get another shot, then you could go private and get another one. I think he was on 3 or 4, and then he had a problem with one of his testicles, like a quite serious problem with one of his testicles. Could be coincidence, okay? Like, but we're talking like hospital surgery. We've got to sort your ball out. Um, yeah. Another, I wouldn't say he's not relative, like a close friend's father. He older fella, you know, we're talking like in the 70s or something, but like very fit guy. Um, Went for a Moderna booster. Oh, I said Moderna. I'm gonna get fucking. This video's gonna get blocked. Okay, I said already. So like goes for it, and he gets it on like the Tuesday. Ends up having a bit of a reaction. Um, by the Saturday, he's in fucking ER. By Sunday or whatever, he's on the fucking operating theater and he's got a fucking pacemaker. Coincidence? I don't know. Like, for some reason, the cardiologist didn't make a link between the two things. You know, I think there's probably a fucking link there. Um, just thinking, what else? Yeah. I think another thing that like other than there's more. Oh yeah. Okay. Just like older people that I know and stuff, like talking about their friends who've just suddenly gone. Anecdotal, but like suddenly gone. Shortly after those things. um, Someone I knew who was a bit of a shagger, like a proper shagger, like had a problem after I think the second one with getting the wood, you know, that kind of shit. Okay, so yeah, all those things aside, right? I think what was way worse for any kind of public health was like lockdowns. I would bet, okay, I'm not looked into it, but I could guarantee there's been a huge increase in um, mental health problems and addictions during that time, which will have killed people or will have shortened people's lives. For instance, I don't know that many people that kill themselves, but you know, like while I was working, because suddenly you can't work. There's no fucking money. And you lock down and there's this panic and the world's going to shit and stuff. So like one of the guys I worked with, his wife, you know, what do you say on YouTube now? They've changed it. It used to be unalive, then it's like the ultimate decision or I don't know, whatever you're allowed to say now on YouTube. So that's just in my small realm, my small social circle. Do you know what I mean? The amount of shit that was in my opinion, if not a direct result, a close result. Someone I know they were working, living a good life and shit, you know. Now, many businesses got closed down, including this person's, but they got a fucking family and shit, right? Start dealing drugs, because what the fuck are you gonna do? You know what I mean? And because yeah, not in all countries, maybe you didn't get like fucking 8% of your wages. Do you know what I mean? So this person starts dealing drugs, gets arrested, 7 years jail. You know what I mean? Like another life ruined. And it's like that's just like my small fucking glimpse on the social world of people, right? And there's so many people whose lives were massively affected, um, not in good ways, from this. Look at the fucking data. Like, okay, I'm not trying to convince anyone here because I know if you don't fucking get it, you don't fucking get it. But look at what the actual risk was for people. If you were under 50, it was fucking minuscule. If you were under 40, even less. If you were under 30, like pretty much nothing. And if you were like a kid, almost zero, you know? And I'm not going to get into the anecdotal things about that I don't know. You know, the stories are like kids having heart attacks when they shouldn't and stuff. But I'm just saying, like, the social, just making so many people unemployed around the world, that has a fucking health impact because you're not making money. Your family falls apart. You can't do this, you can't do that. Being stuck inside and not being able to, like, live your life, that's psychological shit. That leads to depression and anxiety and fucking addictions and stuff. So basically, I will fucking deck anyone that says that the solution that they came up with, like locking down, closing businesses, making people like lose loads of money, pumping insane amounts of debt into the system and stuff, right? Like that would have been better as a health thing than just doing nothing. I'll deck anyone that says that. Do you know what I mean? If you don't agree with that in the comments, go put it in the comments. Tell me how all of these things that completely damage people's fucking health. Not even just talking about the reaction to the jab and shit. Just the lockdowns, making people poor, putting the whole fucking world into debt and shit. But particularly closing businesses and making people not be able to do what they do and not allowing them to travel, taking away their autonomy and stuff. Tell me, right, how that didn't have a bigger death toll than if they'd done nothing. You know what I mean? Not to mention, right, show me a study, this fucking vegan game. Show me the study that proves that the masks did anything. Nothing. And if you want to show me a study as well, show me a study that the solution stopped any kind of spread at all. Show me that. I'm not trying to show you a study that the solution did bad things. Show me the solution. Show me the study that the solution did anything good at all. Or that the lockdowns did anything good, or the social distancing did anything good, the masks did anything good. Fucking show me. And if it didn't, then it fucked a lot of people's heads up. The whole thing's well, like, I'm like an adult, man. Like, I was disturbed people wearing masks all the time and just the general fear, But when people wear masks, you can't see their faces, right? And it's weird. Like, it sort of fucks your head up. You're like, why is everyone wearing a fucking mask that doesn't work? But not just like that, you can't see facial expressions. Like, you lose something that humans probably need. And okay, we're adults, whatever, but that will have fucked kids' heads up massively. You know what I mean? Just the sheer amount of mental problems that came out of the whole isolate, because people don't like isolation as well. The amount of mental problems that would have led to long-term mental problems, people unaliving and stuff, it's just like unbelievable. All of the people who didn't go to the GP and had to make a phone call and the doctors didn't pick up on shit, which my GP said would happen, right? And I think it has. I'm not going to show you the study, but like, there's a reason why you go and visit the GP, and you'll go there for anything, and while he's there, you might be fine. You might go there, I've got a fucking sore throat. While he's there, you might like tap on your body and go to check your fucking liver or something, and you might find something. And that all stopped. I don't know, it's just, what really bothers me is that people have blacked this part out. They've blacked out what's happened. They're in denial. It's like everyone's in denial about what happened. They don't want to remember it because it's traumatic. They don't want to acknowledge all of the bad shit that came from it because it's traumatic, and they'd rather just get on with their life and not face it. That's a fucking problem. And that's why it will never be like sorted out or something. It's something it's going to take like a fucking generation or something before people can look back on it and go, what the fuck happened there? Like, that was fucking bad. Because no one who lived through it would, I mean, like, say in the UK, they say 90% of people took it, whatever it is, 80, 90%. They don't want to fucking face it. Do you know what I mean? People don't want to be wrong. People don't want to face the mistakes. People do not want to face traumas. They just want to get on. So, and everyone that was involved in it is still around, a lot of them. They're not going to do anything about it. They don't want to implicate themselves. It's one of these things that's like, if we live for another 20 years, and it's going to be pretty clear this is an absolute fucking criminal fuck up on the grandest scale. Literally, 9/11 times 1,000.